Hi everyone, it's Jared Kwan again. Just wanted to update you on a few things. Next week I'm going to be streaming, I'm going to be twitching from a couple of different venues. And a few weeks from now I'm also going to be doing a different venue. But before that, I wanted to do something kind of fun to update you. So every time I've decided that I'm going to stream and talk about parenting, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow, then I'm going to have my parenting hat on. It's my favorite fedora. And every time I'm talking about writing or self promotion, I'm going to put my self promotion writing hat on. Now, at Comic Con, I always go as both Odd Jobs and Random Task. And if you're familiar with James Bond and, of course, Austin Powers, and it's incredibly popular. But you'll see that next week. Speaking of which, let's leave the self promotion hat on. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be looking at next week. So, this next week, I'm going to be at Salt Lake Comic Con. I've been honored to be on a couple of panels and promote one of the great organizations I volunteer for. Now, some of the guests, this just blows me away. Some of the guests that they're going to have there this year are just phenomenal, especially for Salt Lake Comic Con. Some of the people I'm really hoping I get the chance to meet or talk to would be like Val Kilmer. I grew up with Top Gun, and that would just be killer. Or Zachary Levi, who I'm a huge fan of Chuck. And if not, I'm a huge fan also of John Cusack. Actually, I should say I'm a huge fan of just about everybody on the board, right? If I just scroll through here, you can see some of the amazing people that are coming up to Salt Lake Comic Con this year. And I get the honor of being on panels with some of the people that are coming out. We have a wide variety of comic creators and authors. Now, for more information about what I'll be doing, of course, you just click on the authors page with the books I've published. And while that's loading, just a quick reminder, that's Changing Wax and a short story in the horror anthology of Apocalypse, Utah. Now, I love the authors on here. The first time I met Timothy Zahn, I have a huge crush on Timothy Zahn. His villain creation is unlike any other. Admiral Thrawn, phenomenal, over the top. If you haven't read that series, I highly, highly recommend it for the Star Wars universe. I had the opportunity to also be on a panel with Larry Correia and Dan Wells just a few years back. Now down here, under the panelists, a lot of these people have become good friends to me. We're almost like a huge friends group, getting to know each other more. You can see my picture over here with the two books that I mentioned earlier. And if you scroll down, you can see that the talent is just phenomenal when it comes to the authors in this community. Now, some of my favorites I just have to mention. I have a lot of favorites in here, from Robin Glassy to Paul Janess to Johnny Worthen. How can I leave him out? There are so many people on this board that I want to list as my favorites that I would just be here all night. So let's go ahead and just click on my picture really quick. Let's just kind of give you a little bit of information on what's going on, what I'm going to be doing there. There's the books a little bit closer up. This is just a quick guest bio right here, and you can see that I'll be appearing all 3 days at Comic Con. It's a Thursday through Saturday, and I'll be, when I'm not on panels, I'll be at booth Blue 18, and that's going to belong to the League of Utah Writers, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment, but I kind of want to talk a little bit about the two panels I'm going to be doing. So let's kick over to the panel programming, which is actually like the best secret of Salt Lake Comic Con. The guests coming to sign pictures and autographs and you get to take photo ops with, they're amazing. They're outstanding, absolutely. And the vendors that show up are so fantastic to work with and even just experience, not to mention the phenomenal cosplayers if you've never been to a Comic-Con. But the panels, just a great secret sauce to Comic-Con. You get in there, I mean, people are used to just seeing like Comic-Con panels from San Diego where it's just the actors, which is great. I love it, especially some of my favorites, which include Supernatural. But on these panels, you get some of these people more one-on-one, more direct, and not a whole panel of people, just maybe one or two people interacting. You get a lot more, you get to experience these people a lot more. Now, if you scroll down here, you can either go through the schedule and try to click on one at a time, which I don't recommend if you're looking for somebody specific. You just type in my name, Jared Kwan. Of course, you can just find me right here. This was my picture from last year's Comic-Con. So, the very first panel I'm going to be on is Thursday, September 21st at 4 p.m. It's the Doctor Who panel. Some of the great people on there are phenomenal. I'm good friends with Robin Glassy. I'm super excited to be on a panel with James Owen and some of these other amazing people. Well, if you're at Salt Lake Comic Con next week, next Thursday, around 4 p.m., stop on by. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have your input and feedback, and really enjoy what we're going to be talking about, going more in depth into the life lessons that Doctor Who has taught us over the years. Now, this I just barely got invited to, and I'm extremely grateful to the moderator, Aaron Yeager, who actually requested that I be on the panel with him. And when I say panel, I really mean game show. So we're going to be having this fantastic Comic-Con edition of Family Feud. And it's going to be two teams, 3-on-3, battling it out. And I get to be up there having real fun with it. I hope that you're able to stop by and check it out, because it's going to be a blast. I promise that for sure. Now let me talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing at Comic-Con. I'm going to be with the League of Utah Writers. Like I said before, I'm the president of the League of Utah Writers. And in that capacity, I enjoy going out and talking with people and getting to meet them and getting to answer people's questions. Of course, our whole goal is to help people improve their writing until they're ready to get published. And when they're published, when they finally get published, we love to help them network or even create events where they have the ability to sell their books, so they're as successful as they can be. In Utah, we have such a phenomenal, supportive community for authors, and I'm so proud to be a part of the League of Utah Writers. Some of the neat things that's going on. So I'll be at Comic-Con, but I'm going to be talking about, this is what I'm going to be talking about, our big conference that's coming up in a couple weeks, October 6th and 7th. It's going to be at the Salt Lake Community College Taylorsville campus, thanks to a sponsorship with the college and several other groups. We're going to have the Friday portion, the October 6th, free to anybody. Anybody can come and experience a writing conference and not have to shell out a few $100. We want everybody to come out. Anybody who even remotely enjoys writing, I would love for them to come out and see what a writing conference is all about. And we put together a phenomenal lineup. Some of my favorites, Kevin J. Anderson is going to be a keynote speaker for us. He is a phenomenal speaker and Star Wars author. J.H. Moncrief, she is top-notch. Matter of fact, my conference committee chair had the opportunity to talk with her over at StokerCon, and she is super excited to come out. We're super excited to have her come out and present for us. We have several agents that are going to be taking pitches. We even have an editing agency that's going to be doing manuscript reviews. There's a lot of names. Now this is our own fantastic lineup for our conference. You can click through here through our different presenters and kind of get to know them a little bit more. Some bios on Kevin J. Anderson or some of our editors and agents. Let's see here. Let's talk about. So we mentioned that it's going to be at Salt Lake Community College, and I'm going to be there also broadcasting, so you get a chance to meet some of these people and talk with them, and also meet some of the guests, some of the people just coming out to see the conference. Now, if you're interested in this, you can go to theleagueofutahwriters.com, and all you need to do is click on the Register Now button. Now, that means even if you're coming to the Free Friday, you need to register, so we have a lanyard with your name on it. We want to make sure that you're taken care of and feel like you're a part of this fantastic conference, even if you're just doing the Free Friday. The conference itself is very affordable, and you have an option if you pay for the Saturday, which is only like $130. You get lunch included, as well as the keynote speaker with Kevin J. Anderson, which is going to be amazing. But if you're really serious about writing, we have 2 master classes with Kevin J. Anderson, each only costing about $30 a piece, and you can get some real, not one-on-one time, but some more intimate time. Those seats are very limited, so we wanted to make sure that it was an experience that you can't find anywhere else. So I'll be at Comic-Con, and I'll broadcast from there. I'll be at the table for the League of Utah Writers, talking about this conference and, of course, the organization itself. And in a couple weeks, I'll be broadcasting from the League of Utah Writers Conference. I hope that you'll check it out. I'm very excited about them. If you could do me a favor and just subscribe or join the channel so that you could stay up to date on some of the stuff that I'm going to be involved in, or some of the stuff that's going on, that would be awesome. And like I said, tomorrow night I'm going to be doing a little bit more in-depth when it comes to parenting. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with me.